Hello again, and welcome to i-nastava. This is a video lesson for the third grade of high school, and my name is Helga Kraljik. I will be your English teacher for today. In today's lesson, we will continue talking about sustainability and energy. In today's lesson, you will be asked to think about the ways our grandparents used to live and identify eco-friendly sustainable behavior. You will also define the 3 pillars of sustainability, and after watching a TED Talk on how we can make the world a better place by 2030, you will analyze its message by writing a paragraph. Finally, you will read about Sleuth. For this lesson, you will need your notebook, something to write with, and a smartphone or laptop with internet connection. In order to do some exercises, you will have to pause the video. When you see the pause button on the screen, it'll be your signal to pause the recording in order to do some exercises. Let us start today's lesson with this beautiful American Indian proverb that emphasizes our responsibility towards our planet. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. Do you agree with it? Why or why not? Now you will listen to my question, pause the video, and then take at least 3 notes in your notebook. So, my question is, what did our grandparents do to have a more sustainable life? My grandma used to say that people had forgotten all about household skills like sewing or fixing. She would always say, "Don't throw it away just because it's broken. Fix it." The notion of going to a store to buy veggies and fruits was unknown to her. She would grow her own. If she thought she needed something, she tried to make it herself. She never complained about not having a car because she loved walking. There are many things we could learn from our great-grandparents about how to make our lives more sustainable. Things like developing household skills or fixing broken things before throwing them away. Pause the video now and write in your notebook at least 6 ways of making our lives more sustainable. Here are some ideas. Apart from developing household skills and fixing broken things, we could definitely walk more and drive less. A bicycle could be a solution as well. If we have the opportunities to, we might try growing our own veggies. Also, we should consume less and stop buying what we could make ourselves. Are you familiar with the word pillar? Can you guess its meaning from the drawing? Because there are 3 in the drawing. Sustainability is the roof, and there are 3 pillars supporting it. So, what are the 3 pillars of sustainability? Sustainable practices support ecological, human, and economic health and vitality. It means that sustainability is not just environment. Copy this picture in your notebook and based on this quote, try to name the 3 pillars. I hope you've recognized the following: environment, economy, and society, the three pillars of sustainability. Last week, we discussed sustainability and we tackled the issue of globalization. Now, let's talk some more about the SDGs. What does SDG stand for, and how many are there? Go to bit.ly, research what SDGs are, or scan the code to access the text. Write the answers to these questions in your notebook. SDGs stands for the Sustainable Development Goals, also known as the Global Goals. There are 17 of them, and they were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty, to protect the planet, and to ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity. Nearly all the countries in the world have promised to improve the planet and the lives of its citizens by 2030. They have committed themselves to these 17 global goals that are unique because they recognize that action in one area will affect outcome in others, and that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability, as we discussed it when we talked about the pillars of sustainability. If you have a closer look at the screen of this computer, you will see that each of the goals is presented by a different color and has a unique thumbnail. You will now study the list of SDGs and choose the one that you would like to work more on. Your next task will be creating a digital design about the chosen SDG. You may want to design an infographic or a poster or maybe even a PowerPoint presentation. First, you will need to do an extensive research on the given SDG, focusing on 2 or 3 issues connected to it, and then suggest possible actions that could be taken to contribute to achieving your goal. Don't forget to add the picture of your goal as well as write its number. While creating your design, pay attention to the fonts you use, the background, and the pictures. The pictures that you decide to use need to be closely connected to the topic. Also, don't forget to put your name on your design. Before sending your digital design to your teacher, make sure that you've covered all the areas we've talked about. To raise your awareness of the importance of the SDGs, you will now watch a TED Talk titled "How We Can Make the World a Better Place by 2030." You will need to watch only the first 5 minutes of the talk. You can watch the rest later. After watching, you will need to write a paragraph of about 100 words that will cover the following 4 questions. Mind you, you will not need to write the 4 answers for 4 questions, but you will be writing a paragraph. While writing a paragraph, you will need to be careful about the use of linking words, the tenses you use, and in the end you will have to give and support your opinion. Read the questions now. This might help you write your paragraph. You don't have to use it, but it might help. Remember, you are not supposed to simply answer the questions 1 to 4. You're expected to write a short paragraph that will cover all the questions, that will be linked, and that will be grammatically correct. Now go to bit.ly TED Talk Sdgs or scan the code to watch the TED Talk. Now a riddle for you. What is it? You cannot see it, touch it, smell it, or taste it, yet it powers everything. It's energy. It is very often defined as the ability to do work or create a change. Learning to be responsible with our energy use is really important for the planet. Let us first think about the things we could do at home. For example, let us not leave electrical items plugged in when they are not being used. Pause the video now and add at least 3 more tips to this list. How about many of the things that could be done at the local and global level to promote the responsible use of energy? Suggest at least 4 more actions that can be added to this list. In order to better solve our problems, the first steps should be defining the issues themselves, as having information at our fingertips allows us to plan strategically. A friend of yours has found this interesting article online about a school that has introduced Sleuth, and he would like to know about the ways that Sleuth has helped this school. You will now read the article in English and write 5 to 7 notes to your friend in Croatian to help him. It is always quite useful to know what your teacher will be looking at while assessing your work. So, while writing the notes in Croatian, you need to make sure that you include 5 facts, that you translate the terminology well, and that your notes are clear and accurate. Go to bit.ly Energy Sleuth or scan the code to access the text and write the notes to your friend in Croatian. Finally, before we part, I'd like you to think about today's lesson and write 3 things that you've learned today, 2 questions that might still be unanswered, and 1 opinion that you have. That would be all for today. Bye.